What is going on, my YouTube family? Sergeant Graybeard at Graybeard Gaming Group. Today is Thursday, December 24th, and as always, I hope this message finds you healthy and safe. In today's video, I want to take some time and answer some of the questions you've sent us over the last few days, and I also want to go over some of the things that need to be fixed in this game as soon as possible. Now, if you happen to be new to the channel, first of all, welcome. Secondly, feel free to hit that subscribe button. We would love for you to be a part of our gaming family, and if you enjoyed this or found it helpful at all, take a quick second and hit that like button. It really does help us out. So as we start the video off, a few things I want to point out real quick is, first of all, I'm not just being lazy with the content. I had a loading screen up here for 7 minutes straight. Now, obviously, I'm not going to have this run for you for 7 minutes, but one of the things we've recently heard is the game is not properly loading for a lot of players. This happens to be the first time that I came across this problem in the game. I've heard from a lot of you saying this happens once or twice every like 4 or 5 attempts when you try to log in. So this again is one of those things that they really need to fix quickly. Now, I'm going to do my best to answer the questions you've sent over the last 3 or 4 days. Unfortunately, I have not heard anything from the game in regards to, any fixes that are coming since they launched the Yule Festival and the last title update, because as we know, there are a lot of bugs going on right now. And obviously, it is a holiday right now. We have Christmas Eve today, Christmas is tomorrow. So I'm hoping that between now and I would say hopefully over the weekend or by Monday at the latest, we should hear from the game in letting us know what to expect. And understand, as I say that, I'm also well aware of the frustration that a lot of you are feeling in the game right now. I mean, it's something where you've heard me say this before. This game is so polarizing. You have people that love it because they haven't encountered any issues, and at the same time, you have other people that have had issues nonstop. There's also a part of the community that was, the game seemed to have been running fine until the Yule Festival, and once that dropped, and I'm in this category as well, all of these weird things started popping up that weren't issues before. So the first thing we want to talk about is the fact that for a lot of gamers out there, every single time you log into the game and the screen loads up, Ivor is drunk. Like every single time. Now, I don't know if that's something they're doing because it's a Yule festival and they're assuming he's been partying all night before you log in. I don't know what's up, but it is something that definitely has been bugging a lot of players. Now, thankfully, there is a workaround. All you need to do is meditate, and when you do so, that will take you out of that hazy, drunken stupor that you're in, because for a lot of gamers out there, that can last anywhere from 30 seconds to 5 minutes, so it's really messing up a lot of people. The next thing we want to talk about, and a lot of you have reached out about this, has to do with your arrow capacity and the fact that you've maxed out the quiver. It should be holding a ton of arrows. It only has 12, and it's absolutely driving you nuts. Now, unfortunately, this is something that's happened in games past. Now, they were able to fix it retroactively, so it should all catch up to itself. However, one thing I recommend doing is take a screenshot of the fact that it's not working properly and definitely send it on to support. The reason I say that is that can help an issue get solved a little bit faster, but as we all know right now, there are some major things going on in the game, but as always, this is being addressed and hopefully it will be fixed soon. Next, my friends, we want to talk about progression blockers when it comes to missions and side quests, and unfortunately, again, this is something that's plaguing a lot of players where they've been stuck on certain things for weeks now. And actually, really quick before I forget, do me a favor. If you were having an issue with the Sons of Ragnar quest, I know they put out a hotfix about a week ago. Let me know if you're still having issues or if that is actually working properly now. Now, there happens to be so many different UI issues in the game right now, and that's what the problem is. That's why there's no rhyme or reason. For some people, missions work. For other ones, they don't. It's a UI issue, which, as we all know, needs to be resolved. I mean, a quick example I can give for people who are struggling is I heard from one of, our subscribers like 8 hours ago, and he was saying the fact that, the guy's 100 hours into the game. He's trying to, I don't want to give anything away, but he's in the process of pledging to a certain territory. And the problem is that for him, he can't continue on in the game. He's done everything else, so he can't continue the main storyline in the game until they fix this thing, and it's been 3 updates later. He's had this issue since week 1, and again, it's got to be resolved soon. The next thing we want to talk about has to do with your settlement and the fact that, and unfortunately, my friends, this is something that's been happening for a lot of gamers since this game launched, is so many people cannot talk to people in their settlement no matter what they do. And again, this is one of those UI things because I mean, for instance, for me, I've never had a problem talking to anyone in my settlement whatsoever. It's never been an issue. But I know for other gamers, that's something they've been plagued with since day one. And it's something that can, obviously make you just put down the game completely. Now, we've heard from the game in regards to that, and the one thing they referenced was the fact that people couldn't talk to Retta. You may be able to talk to him now, but other people were talking about the barracks and, the blacksmith and all these other things, so this, again, is something that needs to be addressed, and hopefully we are going to hear something soon. I also think for a lot of players, what can be incredibly frustrating is when the game puts out a tweet or a message and they say, hey, this problem's been fixed, and it still happens for a lot of gamers out there. However, having said that, and you guys have heard me say this before, we know that they're working on the game. It's not a question of that. I think what happened was this thing launched with so many bugs, it's really hard to keep up, and obviously, the developers want to give you the best version of this game that they possibly can. Another thing that I know is frustrating to a lot of you out there is when you do not hear back from customer support. However, they are completely separate from the development team, so just because you're not hearing back from support does not mean that the issues are not getting worked on. A few more things, my friends, and then we're going to start to wrap this video up. The next thing I want to get into has to do with your Raven, and for some reason recently, so many of you have reached out saying no matter what you do, it says the Raven is unavailable. At this point, my friends, we haven't heard anything back from the game in regards to that. I'm not sure why it popped up all of a sudden for some of you. I've been lucky in that it hasn't happened to me as yet, but again, the team is aware of it and they are working on it. Finally, my friends, we want to talk about the Yule Festival, and for so many of us out there, it's just been a buggy mess. It happens to be fun when it's working properly. So for me, for instance, I would say 1 out of every 5 attempts, it does seem to work okay. Having said that, we also have heard from a lot of people saying that the Yule Festival has completely disappeared from the map. Like it's gone. Like they had it in there and then they load the game up on another game session and for some reason the thing's just completely disappeared. And unfortunately, once again, my friends, I don't have an answer for that. They have not put out anything for the game since the Yule Festival came out in regards to when we can expect a patch to fix a lot of things going on. I mean, as of right now, as I'm recording this, it's 9:23 a.m. Pacific time. They put out a tweet a day ago talking about the Yule Festival. I was hoping they would give us an update today, but again, it's a holiday, as is tomorrow, so hopefully by Monday we should hear something. With all of that being said, my friends, we're going to start to wrap this video up. I want to once again thank you all for your continued support. I sincerely wish I had more answers for you right now, but as you know, and for those of you that are new here, you may not know, one of my goals here is to try to help you guys out in any way possible. Therefore, as I've mentioned in previous videos, if there are any issues that you are having that I did not bring up, please leave them in the comments section down below. I try to get back to everyone I can, and as always, as soon as I hear anything new, I will definitely pass that along. At this point, my friends, I want to take a moment and thank you all for the continued support. As most of you know, we just started covering Assassin's Creed with the launch of Valhalla, and the way you've welcomed us into the community has been absolutely incredible. One of the main reasons I created a channel was to create an environment where gamers work together, and that's regardless of skill or the time in which you have to play, and the way that we've worked together in this game, my friends, has been absolutely awesome, and again, I sincerely appreciate how everyone supports each other. On that note, my friends, we're going to wrap this thing up. As soon as I hear any more information, I will definitely pass it along. If this is your first time here, feel free to hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button. But most importantly, take care, be kind, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.